Apple did not announce a foldable iPhone at WWDC 2026, but iOS 27 Beta 1 released literally hours after the keynote ended did. Hidden inside Apple's own frameworks, researchers found strings that have exactly one explanation: a device that physically folds. And more importantly, Apple made a set of official, mandatory developer changes at WWDC that only make sense if specific hardware is already in the build pipeline. Today, we are going through every piece of evidence, both the official API changes Apple announced on stage and the code strings discovered in the beta hours later. And I am going to show you what each one means for your app right now, and why the collective weight of these signals is nearly impossible to explain away. This is not rumor content. This is code archaeology. Let us get into it. If you are building a production iOS app and you want to make sure you are architecting it correctly before this hardware lands, subscribe and let's talk. Start with what Apple said officially, because this is the part that gets underweighted in the conversation. At WWDC 2026's Platform State of the Union, Apple told developers to stop building apps around fixed screen assumptions. But this time, Apple attached concrete, hard deadlines. Change 1. Letterboxing is being removed. Any app compiled against the iOS 26 SDK will no longer be automatically letterboxed or scaled when it runs on hardware with unfamiliar screen geometry. Previously, if your app did not handle a new screen size, iOS would scale it as a fallback. That safety net is gone. Apple said this explicitly in the session with an SDK cutoff attached. Removing it now means they know what screen geometries are coming. A foldable device that goes from a narrow folded state to a wide unfolded state is precisely where letterboxing would fail. Change 2. UIRequiresFullscreen is deprecated. This flag allowed apps to opt out of window resizing entirely. Apple called it a compatibility mode that will be ignored in a future release. Change 3. UIScene lifecycle is now required. This is the architecture that lets an app run as multiple independent, resizable windows. It is exactly the right foundation for a folding device. Apple also shipped practical tooling, a resizable iOS simulator and Xcode previews. Apple does not build enforcement deadlines and tooling for hypotheticals. That is how they execute platform transitions. Within hours of the WWDC keynote, developer Sam Henry Gold published findings from iOS 27 Beta 1. 3 strings inside Apple's frameworks that go well beyond generic layout flexibility. String 1, foldState. This is the most direct. A software state variable specifically modeling whether a device is folded or unfolded. There is no other device in Apple's lineup where this is a meaningful concept. String 2, mechanicalAngleDegrees. These suggest the OS can read the precise angle of the hinge in real time. Flat open, tent mode, or book mode. Each configuration has different usability properties. String 3, DeviceDisplayCount. This is a system API key that returns the number of built-in displays. On every iPhone ever shipped, that number is 1. You do not write an API that queries a count if the count is always the same. Here is the thing about Apple's pattern. Apple does not ship software first for products that do not exist yet. WatchKit appeared before Apple Watch. RealityKit appeared before Vision Pro. Every time Apple has introduced a genuinely new hardware category, the SDK told the story before the keynote did. The question is no longer whether it is coming, but how ready you will be. Let us make this concrete. Here is exactly what you should be doing in your codebase right now, based on what Apple has officially committed to. Action 1. Migrate to UIScene lifecycle. This delegate method is critical. It fires whenever the scene's coordinate space changes, which will include fold transitions when the hardware ships. This is where you receive the geometry event. Action 2. Build adaptive layout intent into your SwiftUI views. Intent-based layout survives any geometry. Fixed geometry does not. Use Geometry Reader to adapt to the proxy size. Action 3. Preserve scroll and selection state across layout transitions. Encode user context independent of layout geometry so that when the view rebuilds, the user's progress is saved. Action 4. Run the Xcode resizability audit. Apple's new coding agent skill identifies hard-coded widths and fixed orientation assumptions automatically. Run it on your project now. We are in Beta 1 territory right now. Here is exactly what to watch as subsequent betas ship. Does foldState survive? Does the simulator gain foldable options? 3 betas from now, this story will be clearer. The most definitive signal will be the simulator. If Apple adds a foldable hardware configuration to the iOS simulator during the beta cycle, that is the clearest statement that real hardware is imminent. Apple did not say the word foldable once at WWDC 2026, but the mandates and code strings together are not coincidences. This is a platform being prepared systematically for hardware that changes shape. Your job is not to wait for the announcement, it is to be ready before it. Visit tony-trejo.com for guidance, hit the like button and subscribe. See you in the next one.